So in case some of you are having issues using Desmos, you can use Desmos on a desktop computer just by Googling Desmos Graphing Calculator, and it should pop up something similar to this, or you can get an app for your phone or an iPad that is Desmos. This is the app on my iPad. So if you need to input a table, first thing you're going to do is you're going to come up here and hit this plus sign in the top left corner, and then you are going to hit the table. Now you can input your data values. So let's say my x's are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And let's say my y values are 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, and 19. As you can see, it is going to graph those points for you as you are inputting them into your table. Now we need to figure out what type of regression line will best fit this data. So if you come up here and hit that plus sign again, you can hit expression, and then we are going to try to write an expression to go with this. So we are going to type in y1. You are going to hit shift and then hit the button beside the number 1 to get the little tilde. So we're going to say y1 is approximately your equation for a line, because this looks pretty linear to me, is y equals mx plus b. So we're going to hit m. To get your x values, you are going to hit x1, so it knows to grab the x1 values out of your table, and then plus b. As you can see, that does fit through our points very well, and it's going to tell you at the bottom what your m and your b values are. So in this case, our m value is 2 and our b value is 5. So if we want to rate this equation, we would just write y equals mx plus b, or in our case, our m value is 2 and our b value was 5. So this is if it's a linear situation. Now, not all of them are going to be linear. So let's get rid of those. Let's input some different data. So I can go back up to that plus sign, hit table again. I'm still going to have my x values be 0, 1, 2, 3. My y values this time, I'm going to have -4, 0, 6, 14, let's go ahead and get rid of this 8. So it's going to graph our data points for us. And so we can try a linear equation for this to see if it's going to fit. So again, we can do that y1 is approximately m times x1 plus b. And if we look at the points, it's close, but it's not going exactly through them. If you get really close in here, you can see that they are kind of curved. So I'm going to try a different type of equation. So let's try a quadratic equation. Now in a quadratic equation, it's going to be in the form of y1, we're still going to hit that tilde, it's going to be a times x1 squared. Now to get to the squared, you're going to hit the shift and the 6 button to get that caret, and then you're going to hit squared. You can arrow to get out of that, so just arrow to the right after that. So ax squared plus bx1 plus c. And as you can see, that graph, that red line, goes perfectly through all of those green points. So we can assume that this is a quadratic equation. So again, this is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Along the bottom, they tell you your a value is 1, your b value is 3, and your c value is -4. So if we want to write that equation, it's in the form of y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So you are going to input your value. So my a value was 1, my b value was 3, and my c value was -4. So my equation will be 1x squared plus 3x minus 4. Now we do have different options. If you wanted to do a cubic, it would be ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. We also have the option of doing an exponential function. So let's take these out. Let's do one more. If we go back here and hit table again and put our data values, so here are our data values. Let's make it so that they all show up on the screen. Now this does look kind of like a quadratic, but it just goes up super, super fast. So we could try a quadratic equation first. Again, you're just gonna hit that y1, that little tilde, which you just hit shift and then the button beside the 1. It would be a x1. You're going to square it, so you'd hit shift, the 6 button to get the caret, squared, hit the right arrow to get back out of that part, plus bx1 plus c. And as you can see, it doesn't quite go through those points. So, because it's going up so fast, we can try an exponential equation instead. So in this case, we can hit y1 is approximately a times, to get times, you can hit shift 8, and it will be that little star, that'll be multiplication. B raised to, again, you would hit shift and 6 to get that caret, to raise it to the exponent, and then you would hit x sub 1 to get your exponent, your variable in the exponent. Now we can see that this graph does perfectly go through all of those points. So our equation tells us for y equals a times b to the x power that our a value is 2 and our b value is 3. So again, if we want to write that equation, we have the equation y equals a times b to the x power. They tell us a is 2 and they tell us b is 3. So our equation will just be y equals 2 times 3 raised to the x power.